Everybody, 1965 gal here. I'm showing you how to pressure can some chicken broth. Sorry about all the watermarks on here. This is a Presto 16 quart pressure canner and cooker. I got this at Walmart and I think it was like 60 bucks. It came with all the stuff inside, like all the stuff inside. Empty box. No, but it came with the lid and this thing right here, which holds up the cans, or the jars, really, the can. They call it canning, but it's really jars. And the lid, and it comes with one of these things, which I'll explain how to use in a little bit here. This is a thing that you put on top, and it tells you when it's, it lets out the pressure a little at a time for when you're pressure canning. But I just made some broth, chicken broth, in my previous video, and right now I'm heating up the broth. I just strained the chicken away from it, and I showed you how I cook my chickens yesterday in my my previous video. I am heating the broth up now. It's just broth with a little bit of fat on top. You'll see the really thin line of fat, and I'm gonna can probably, I'd say, 6 or 7 quarts with this amount, which is from fresh chicken, cooked and everything. So let's get started. You get some canning jars by Ball. They have to be canning jars so that they don't break when you're canning under the pressure. So they're nice and thick. They're called mason jars. They're wide mouth. These are wide mouth, but you can get regular size. But I get the quart size wide mouth. And the lids are really cheap too. You can get the lids with they come apart. They're like this is called the ring and this is called the seal. And you put it together, and when you put it on, when you can, you put that on there, and these are brand new. I threw away the other ones that I had because they get kind of rusty. Well, I'll show you. Like if it gets rusty, you don't want to use that. But you can use it for dry storage of stuff, but you don't really want to use that when you're canning. So you want brand new seals and rings, and they're fairly cheap. You can get a big box of them for like a few bucks or something. You get a huge box of them. I'm just doing this now to make sure there's no, you see there's like 2 in there. There's like 2 of them. Make sure the rings are good and the seals are good. They're brand new, they're good. Usually had it where they've been bad, but we won't get into that. Okay, I'm getting 7 out. I probably won't need 7, but I'm thinking it'll probably give me 6 quarts. But I want to put I might put the 7th one in there just for to hold a place. These look like they come in a box like this, and you can just reuse the rings, but the lids are, you want to use a new one every time when you can. Here's this is a bottle lifter. You lift it, or you use it to unscrew the things when it's really hot. And you got your bottle lifter, where you use this to lift the jars out of the container when they're really hot. Distilled vinegar to put in the water so that you don't have cloudiness on your jars. So you need a little bit of that. This to put on the jar over the thing so you can pour it in. It doesn't get around the edges of the jar. And these all come in a set, so it's fairly cheap to buy a set. Mine, I do want to drain some of this fat off of the top of the broth because it just doesn't, seems like it's insulating it. See, what you do is you get one of these things and you see the fat layer. What I do is you squeeze it until you get down to where the, like, see, it's like it's about, actually, do you see that between the 4 and the 6 there's fat? So I go down to where between 2 and 4, and that's all fat in there. Well, almost all of it. That's pretty much all fat in there. You want to get rid of this fat. I'll continue to do that and get a lot of this fat off of here. I got like 8 ounces of fat off the top of this. There's still a little bit, but it's like looking really good now and nice, free boiling now. We're going to take this and add about 2 to 3 inches of water on the bottom. Fill line right there, if you can see it on the bottom of the pan, and then you just fill it to that line with water, vinegar, and I put about that much in there. About that much. So, however much that is, a big dollop, a big glug. Pan on with the water in it, the pressure cooker pan. I put it on medium high. This one's boiling, so what I want to do is I'm going to fill these up, put the lid on, and drop them in here. Measuring cup to pour the broth into the jar. I'm going to fill it up to the bottom of the first little band there, first little thing right there. Cover, fill line. Do that. And turn this off. Put your lid on. Just when you use this, kind of don't put it on really, you just finger tighten it. See how I did that? Like just a little bit tighter than, like, don't put it on really super tight. Stick it in there. Do that again. Of course, don't touch the jar because it gets really hot with your hand. Usually I use a mitt, but today I just grabbed a towel. I don't know why. And continue to do that until you have all your jars set in the pan. And jars in the water. It's on medium high, and I got a little bit of broth left over, which I'll mix with some water and use tonight. But I can't believe I got 7 whole quarts. They're actually filled up to the bottom of the band right here, that line right there. So I need to get my book and because I haven't done this in a while, and I want to make sure I'm remembering right how to do this. I've done it so many times, but I just want to make sure, get my book and do this right. So I'll be right back. It came with the pressure canner. It has like all these different recipes and how to use it and what everything's for, like I've explained to you already. You have to pressure cook certain foods. You can't like broth and meat and everything. You have to pressure can it because it's got to get a certain temperature to kill the germs. You can water bath can certain things, but you have to pressure can meat and of course the broth. Like I mean, they have all kinds of recipes for stuff. Alright, chicken stock right here. Let me alright, place a large carcass bones in the stock pot, blah blah blah. Okay. Alright. Fill jars leaving 1 inch head space. Adjust jar lids. Process 10 pounds of pressure. Pints 20 minutes and quarts 25 minutes. Okay. So that's what I needed to know. The pressure, 10 pounds of pressure would be this thing. This is 15 pounds of pressure, and 10 pounds of pressure is one of these things on it. This is 5 pounds. So this is 10 pounds. You put this on top. You bring this to a boil. You put your cans in there, of course, like I just did. Take this weight off. Put the thing in. Put the thing on top, I mean. You lock it, make sure that it's level. I moved it over to this burner because this is where I always pressure can. This burner, I'm used to it. You take this off of it in the beginning, and when you're getting the heat up, and then steam will come out of here and out of here. For like 10 minutes you let it vent steam after it comes to a boil. Then you add this to it, and then this will stop up. It'll like come up and lock like that, and then this will start to rock on top of here. And then once that starts rocking, you time it for 25 minutes for your quarts, your broth quarts. So I'll come back when it starts to steam vent. It's like when it starts to vent steam, it gets really strong, and I don't know if you can see that. That's really going, but like that is going pretty strong, and it goes pretty strong and it starts to blow out steam. Then you time that for 10 minutes once it starts to blow heavy steam out, which it's doing now. So my air conditioning is battling it out right now, so you can see it though, like steaming out of there and out of there. Of course you'll have a lot of water drippage, like steam coming out of there. But that's what you want to look at to see if it's got that little cloud forming. Then you time it for 10 minutes. So there you go. I'm going to time it for 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Now that has been 10 minutes. It's been venting for 10 minutes. Now what I do is I place the rocker thing on top. Remember 10 pounds? Oh, and it stopped right away. Usually it doesn't do that. What I do is it starts rocking back and forth soon. It'll start rocking back and forth, and what I do is I turn down the heat until it rocks slowly back and forth. Not slowly, but just kind of like steadily back and forth. So be right back. Okay, see how that's rocking back and forth now? Well, that's gonna do that really fast at first, and then and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it down now to about, I found that right there is probably a good setting once it starts rocking. And then I've just by process of elimination to where it rocks slow and like kind of steady, like it'll get to a point where it rocks like nice and steady, and that's what you want. And that's when it starts to go steady like that, like nice and steady, like, then that's when you set your timer for 25 minutes for quarts. 20 minutes for pints and 25 minutes for quarts, and that's what I have in there is the quarts. So it's almost time to set the timer. See how it's rocking? Funnest thing ever. It's like so cool. I love watching it. Isn't that cool? I'm deboning the chicken right now as I'm cooking that. I got the bones in one bowl and the meat in the other, and then all the mixture in one bowl, and it's kind of a long, tedious job, but it's so worth it because you get every bit of chicken meat this way, and you also get your broth this way. It's really a nutritious broth too because it's right from the chicken source, not any kinds of fake stuff added to it. You know what I mean? So it's going to be the best broth ever, and that's the healing broth. That's the good stuff that you drink when you're sick and stuff. So So pretty much, I think that's, might just put it on a little bit higher so it rocks a little bit faster than that. I like to rock like a little bit faster, like almost like that. Yep. So you see this thing's locked, it's been locked, that stays locked, and that you never open this top, never open this top, because that's how people get killed. It's like so much pressure under there. You never open it until this drops down at the end after it's cooled off. So never open it. You're gonna lose your head or your face. So just warning you. That's so much pressure in there to make that thing, the steam press that around, like 10 pounds of pressure. That's a lot of pressure. So I guess that's pretty good. I'm gonna set the timer for 25 minutes, and then there we go. And I'll come back in a little bit and let you know what to do next. On in 25 minutes, and now you in 25 minutes, now you take it off the heat and you let it sit until this thing drops, and that thing, of course, that thing's going to stop right away, but that thing's going to drop, but you never touch it until then. All right, well, here's what I ended up with is 7 of these quarts of chicken broth. Awesome. What they should do is ping, and you should hear them like ping down, and then you take the rings off of them, which is like this, and clean them off, like clean everything off the sides, and then mark them with a permanent marker. Put the date and what it is, like chicken broth, and then that's how you store them until you're ready to use them. With cooked chicken after I get done cleaning it. It's about a pound, and this is like 19 ounces, and this is like 19 ounces, so about 3.5 pounds of cooked chicken. And I label it, put it in a freezer bag, divide it up into portions, and then I freeze some of it. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. Yay! Let me know if you have any questions down below. Please subscribe for more videos. Have a great day. Bye.